Hi guys, I hope you all are fine. Today I want to teach you about the Jenkins cluster. The Jenkins cluster have two types. One is the static one and another one is the dynamic one. So I will go with the static one today. So in the upcoming my videos I will come up with the dynamic one. So how to set up the Jenkins cluster? So first of all, why we need the Jenkins cluster here? So there are lots of reasons. So one of the main reason is that where I am my Jenkins cluster is running or my Jenkins server is running. I don't want to use my resources of my Jenkins server. So in production environment we have lots of jobs and we want to run these jobs not in my Jenkins server. So I have to divide the jobs from uh, jobs from and run these jobs on different location. Let's suppose I have the job one which is the for the my Kubernetes, and one another one is the Dockers, and another one job is the Linux one. So I don't want to run these three types of jobs in my Jenkins server. So I want to be run these jobs on from a different location or from my different nodes which are the part of my Jenkins server that is called slave node. So I want to use that resources or to run these jobs. So let's suppose if my job is related to the Kubernetes, so my all the jobs run on the Kubernetes server or my node. So if I have a Linux server and if my job is belongs to the Linux commands, so it's my wish to run these types of jobs on my Linux server. So that's why we need the Jenkins cluster. So to divide the jobs and I am not using the resources of my Jenkins server. You know, if the Jenkins run these all these jobs in my Jenkins server, so my Jenkins server will goes little bit slow or downgraded degraded the services. So it will be effect on my Jenkins server resource. So there is so we come up with the two things. I don't want to need resources use resources of my Jenkins server. Another one is the divide the jobs as per the requirement. So how to build the Jenkins cluster static one? So for that we have to come up with the first need to be plugins added. So just come up on the manage plugins, and I want to show you which plugins you need to be installed before going with the static one. So first of all, that is the SSH agent plugin, and then another one is the SSH build plugin. So you need to install these two plugins in Jenkins server in order to make the static Jenkins server cluster. So after that you have to come off the manage Jenkins and then go with the manage node cloud. So there is a one node is already here, that is master node. So it's a node that is where my Jenkins is installed. So for that I need added a new node here which is called the slave node. So for that node is my Linux node. So I just for the any you can put it here any name. So I just read it here Red Hat 8. So this is a permanent agent. Let's click OK. Here is the here is the fields are come up, which is the name, description, number of executor is like my master have the 4 executor. By default the Jenkins come up with the 2 1. So I have already and configured 4 1. So we can change it up to it's up depend upon the our requirement. So number of executor, how many executor you want on your no slave node. So I want to add it to. So what is the remote root directory? So for that first of all come up on your remote directory, and I have already created it the root test. So remote directory is like my root test. So what is the remote directory here? So whenever Jenkins come up and give the instruction to my slave node to run this job. Let's suppose run a command or any command to create a directory or like that. So that output of that command or that output of that job will be come up on this location. So this is the use of remote directory. Another one is the labels one. So labels one, you can create any label here. So labels will be come need when we create the job in Jenkins. So usage, the usage is the use this node as much as possible. I want to use this my slave node as much as possible. I don't want to go with my master node. So whenever my Jenkins come up on run a job, so it will see my slave node executor are free or not. If it's free, so it will run on my slave node. If it's not free, so it will go another one or go with the master one. So this is the usage of this. So launching method, what is the launch of your node, slave node? So I will go with the SSH one. So SSH one, so I have just giving the host name. So host name or IP for me is the IP, and add the credential here. So your credential is added here. So it's very simple. So just click on kind username, the password. It should be here root on password, and add it here. The your slave node. So after that you come up with the host key verification strategy, which is like to be verify your host. I don't want to be any verification, need to be any verification while accessing the SSH on my of my node, slave nodes. Okay, so after that you one more thing you need to be consider here. You know the my launching method is SSH. So in SSH you need you know the by default port is 22. But for me, if your SSH port is 22, and then just go on the save button. Otherwise you have to change if your port is other than 22. So I have changed my port. So for me it's 2222. So just go and hit the enter save button. So let's see it's launching now. So let's see it's launching. Yeah, it's launching, and add my slave node here in my executor build executor. What first one is the master one, another one is the red one. So just click on the refresh button. You can see my another resource on another node have been added in my Jenkins server. So this is the master, is the this is the slave one. So uh, after that let's see, and you can see here the label one is the red hat. So let's create a job. For me I have already created the job for this which is a test 5 one. So for configuration the job, let's see, you are going to be configure a job for your Red Hat 8 Linux commands need to be run on that node, on your slave node. So I just created here the touch command to create my file. Simple, it's a very simple one. So you can create anyone. So and you here is the come up with the in the general section you need to be click on the restrict where this job can be run. So I just click on that one. So I need the where you want to be job test 5 job run. So I say it's a label expression. You see the label we have where we have write it the red hat I believe. So red hat. So I just click here and save, apply and save. So let me confirm the my node 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 label. So just click here on red, the label is red hat 8. So now my job have been created, and let's see it will where is it will be run. So whether it will be go on my slave node or it will be run on my master node. So let's create. So I just run it, click on run, and you can see that this is running on my Red Hat 8. This is the my slave node. It's run successfully. So you can check it here is as well. So you can see it's running successfully. Okay, so let's see I have already given the my remote directory path over there. So let's see the it's created anything or not. So I just created the you can see the work space has come up here. and see the test swipe folder, and you can see that my file have been created on my remote location server. Okay, so that's all for the Linux side. So I will go with the add another node in my Jenkins cluster. So what is that? This is I want to go with the add my Windows machine. This is the my Windows. Let's suppose I am here running on Minikube. Let's suppose. So right now I don't have any Minikube setup. So let's for setuping I just do it. So you can run it or you can add it here your uh, your Windows machine. So let's add new node. So my that is my Windows machine. So click OK and then go with the executor. So remote directory here come up. The remote directory would be I have already created a remote directory for that. So just copy here. So for me it's already copied. Are you sure want to be relative the path of FS? Yes. So it's my remote directory. Let's I think space not. Yes, now it's clear. What would be the label? I don't want to go with the Win label or Windows label. What with the usage as much as possible. So launching method. So here launch agent by connecting it to master. So my master will also launch it when so I don't want to be here go with the SSH because we know the Windows doesn't support the SSH property. So let's see. So just click on save button. So you can see my node is offline now. So what is that? So let's just click on it here. So you can see here is the file or here is the commands are come up. So one more thing need to be added in your while set up the Jenkins cluster. So Java is the most important thing, or you can see Java is need to be installed in every slave node. So if the Java is not in your slave node, it will not work. It will never be added in your Jenkins cluster. So for you just run this command, just copy it and run it. For me, I believe it will be run. If it will not run, so just click on the agent jar. So I just downloaded. For me, it's already downloaded. That's why it's come up one. So let's see it's working or not. So it's connecting now. You can see my logs. You can see it's connected now. It's successfully connected, and let's see it's connected or not. Yes, you can see now the cross have been gone and my Windows X machine and this much size and my build executor come up here. So let's see. This is my all about the Jenkins cluster static one. So build executors my now my master my two slave nodes are here. So this is my Jenkins cluster with the static one. I hope you are like it, and if you have any confusion or any doubts, so you can feel free to ask me. Thank you guys, thank you so much. And well, you can ignore this. You can it's a clock difference, it's an NTP one, so you can ignore it right now. So just make this cluster in your node or in a session. So thanks guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are like it, and if you have any problems, so feel free to ask me. Thanks.